Now, week 15 of the UPDL's second season brings my team, the Buffalo Willow Wings, into combat with the real steel of Canton's Kingambits. Let's get right into this team breakdown for another lovely week, the third to last of this season. Starting off, we've got Mega Mawile here, which one of if not the best typings in the game. That huge power on top of 105, you are just going crazy. Sword Stance and Sucker Punch in the back. You get Iron Head, Play Rough, a whole slew of cover options. This mon is a slow gun. It just shoots you. And if you get it under Trick Room and a good set of speed tiers, this thing is just over. Like, there's no living, there's just withstanding for a little bit longer. Or, counter killing. Mega Mawile, great mon. Now, we've got another Mega here, Mega Charizard X, which is similarly an ability boosting the physical attack stat with Tough Claws, good boosting move in Dragon Dance, and then you have pretty much every single move under the sun because Charizard's the Game Freak golden boy. It's definitely interesting to have two Megas here on the team, but it is kind of an interesting trap because if you prep for one that might sweep your team, and then the other shows up, you could be in a little bit of trouble. Of course, one good enough defensive wall with the right type might be able to hold off both of these demons. But it's definitely interesting, because this is also two high point slots that you cannot bring on the same team. You can't bring two Megas to one battle, because otherwise people would be drafting like Mega Ampharos through Mega Abomasnow and Medicham, Scizor. We'd have like a 12 Mega team somewhere out there. So it's an interesting choice to have the double Megas, but it could be powerful and it could make some follies possible in the team builder here. Next up, we've got Hatterene, which is that Trick Room support that you really want for Mega Mawile, as well as just a great special attacker in general, good bulk on it as well. Magic Bounce for that hazard removal that Charizard will really, really like, just getting rid of those Stealth Rocks with ease, because Charizard's going to have to switch in as a Fire Flying type, taking that 50% health knock, which is no good. So definitely a good mon to have here. Mystical Fire and all those other accoutrements, it's just lovely to have. Ogerpon Wellspring right here. It's an Ogerpon, you know exactly what it does. It's going to press that 100-100 extra crit ratio move in Ivy Cudgel. It's going to press Horn Leech or Spiky Shield. It's going to Sword Stance or Trailblaze on you. It is just another great physical attacker. This team is loaded with physical attackers. So if you aren't coming here with like a 200 defense stat somewhere on your team, you're going to have some problems. Next up, Iron Bundle. Really starting to round out that special attack side that we need. Now, a Freeze Dry Hydro Pump. That's it. That's the whole mon, and you know what? It's so good that it's still 17, 18, 19 points on the board. I should know I just drafted it. But I love Bungle. It's got pivots as well as a little bit of speed control. You can run kind of like any item you please on it. It's got surprising physical defense as well, like 114. So if you really wanted to run that shiesty booster defense strat, you could do that. Maybe I shouldn't give away all my Season 3 coins yet, though. Next up, we got Whimsicott, giving you some assured speed out here. After Bungle's Blitzen 136 speed stat, you get that prankster shenanigans. You get Prankster Tailwind, Prankster Sleep Powder. This thing is just a little demon, and it can really come in and do some terror if you let it. Dusknoir, the Eviolite King himself, up next. He gets exactly what you need out of a big old beefcake. He gets Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Nightshade. It's essentially the ghost version of a Chansey, which might be spoilers. I love this mon. At some point, when I have my NFE slot, I will draft it. That is a God-given promise from me to you. Will-O-Wispies, as I said, it's got like all the punches. It unfortunately doesn't learn Dusknoir Punch quite yet. That happens with evolution into Dusknoir, but great mon here. Silly little goober guy. Look at those hands. Why is his fingers so long? We don't need to answer that question. I think it's better left unknown. Corviknight coming in here to wall my Clodsire fully. Literally, like, what can Clodsire do into this? Pretty much nothing. It's a great mon. It's a little passive, of course, but it gives you some great hazard removal in the form of that defog which of course Iron Bundle and Charizard really do love. It gets those Brave Birds. I've seen it run with like a Power Trip set. You run Bulk Up and Power Trip and Agility. You've of course got good recovery. Toxic, I believe, because of Ninetales. I forget if that got axed in Gen 7 or Gen 8 exactly. Mirror Armor, great ability, lets you swap into things for free sometimes. I mean, you know what Corviknight does, it's just like Skarmory. It's a tank on wings. Lovely mod. Miss Tinkaton right here, sharing our type in with Mega Mawile, which is a bit strange, but with Fairy and Steel, you kind of really can't argue with it. Yep, Fire and Ground are Nuts weaknesses. Or not Nuts weaknesses, they're definitely glaring weaknesses, but you can definitely play around it. Especially with Corviknight for those grounds and maybe, I don't know. Well, Charizard Mega for those fire types with quad resist. So you can make it work, absolutely. Tinkaton, you got the Gigaton Hammer, you got Thwack. In fact, this team's got 2 Hammer Thwackers, what with Ogerpon and Tinkaton, and you really gotta respect it. This is definitely a girl boss team between Hatterene and Ogerpon, Dusclops, Tinkaton, and no one else. But Thunderwave Encore, Gigaton Hammer, Play Rough, all the other things it gets rocks, it gets, I'm sure, like Ice Hammer, doesn't get Dragon Hammer, I think it gets Hammer Arm, question mark. Gets a lot of strong physical attacks on not the most overwhelming attack stat, but you've got plenty of friends around the board here to help patch that up. Love this Mon so much. Always happy to see it drafted. And finally here, as aforementioned, you have the unbelievable defensive wall of Chansey. You don't even necessarily need to run Eviolite because that special bulk is so dang good. Of course, you kind of have, well, a knockoff weakness, what with Dusknoir and Chansey both really wanting to hold on to their Eviolites. But nonetheless, it's a great mon. We saw it with the Taunton Meowers in Season 1 for a legendary run of things. Gotta love the mon. It sits there and it eats eggs. What else do you gotta say? So now let's get right on into what I prepped to take this team on. Starting right away, Ogerpon H, running Sword Dance, Ivy Cudgel, Stomping, Tantrum, Substitute. You can look at all the abilities and Blot of Blues, IVs, EVs. I don't have the IVs on the screen for you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for lying to you. Anywho, Ogerpon is here to do as Ogerpon does, which is bonk. And bonk she will. I mean, we've got 4 Fire Weak Mons, that makes a quarter of them. Of course, you've got that quad resist in the form of Charizard X, but even into many of the other Mons being neutral, like the other Ogerpon Wellspring on that team, is just always an easy move to click, which is why I've brought Substitute and Sword Dance to really try to make it work. Substitutes are here because I think there's a number of Mons that can't threaten Ogerpon, at least with like an Oko, and often will want to use something like a Nuzzle or a Will-O-Wisp or what have you onto Ogerpon. And if I can get a Substitute up here and get that Sword Dance running, I'm really in a good spot, especially as not many of the other Mons, notwithstanding Iron Bungulus, will be outspeeding my Ogerpon. So Substitutes could really let me capitalize on Ogerpon Hearthflame's breaking potential. And then of course the big stompers are going to help me patch up that resistance from Mega Charizard X, just giving me a nice super effective button to press. And if I can somehow figure out a way to get my Substitute to fail tactically, then we get to double that to a 150 nuke, which could be really quite fortuitous. Mesprit is up next. Of course, the jaundiced variety, because you gotta run the jaundice. And Mesprit is here with Levitate, Leftovers, a Calm Nature, max HP and special defense. That should be 252, but you didn't see that, didn't hear that from me. Mesprit is here for pure evil. We have Baton Pass here, legal in the league, and that is what we are here for. We're going to try and scum up Mystical Powers' special attack boosts as long as possible, preferably on a Thunderwave opponent. Feather in some protects to keep ourselves healthy, and then Baton Pass off to one of our upcoming special attackers that we will talk about in just a second. Beyond that, Thunderwave, of course, lets me control the speed of somebody like an Ogerpon, Wellspring, or an Iron Bundle, which could be very nice, especially with an Iron Bundle where we have those special defense EVs to help manage it. So that's just a nice thing to have. And of course, those 1 in 3, or I guess 30% if you want to be to the T. Those 30% chances for them to not move, lovely. Can't argue with it. If RNGesus blesses me, so be it. Raging Bolt is, of course, my chief offender of this Baton Pass scummery. And I say scummery with conviction in my heart. I don't know how I've been reduced to such a state. I can't. All's fair in love and war and Pokemon Showdown. So, be that as it may. Raging Bolt is running a booster energy because the idea is that Mesprit just gives this thing a lovely, lovely +2, +3, +4, what have you, and ends the game there by just thunderclapping or thundering it with Mind Games. We got Calm Mind here if we get a turn that we think we could use it. And let's just look at it. I mean, Thunderclap, Thunder as well. They're just here so that we can delete Iron Bundle with no thoughts. I can't outspeed Iron Bundle, but I can certainly out-prioritize it. So it's a nice piece of insurance to have. And one could imagine that I will always bring this Mon into Iron Bundle. So it might even ward off Iron Bundle from coming. The Black Dragon Pulse is here to help me with Mr. Charizard X. Now Charizard is going to outspeed me and probably OHKO me with a Dragon type attack or Earthquake if it's running it. So it's not the best solution to Mega Charizard X, but it's nice to have Dragon Pulse for that insurance and for, you know, just some good neutral damage if Electric isn't really working into a specific Mon. And finally, of course, Mesprit is the trap designed to give us this beautiful plus whatever special attack boost. So that's the plan for Raging Bolt. Next up, we got Stacky Tacky, run loaded dice with a Beast Boost ability as one may or may not do, depending on your whims and attitudes. Full defense right there with a little bit of special defense sprinkled on top. Rocks for the utility, Heavy Slam for the smash, Rock Blast for the blast, and Trick Room for the flippy flops. Now we got the Trickery Dickory Room here because Stack Attack is simply the slowest thing in the entire matchup. Nobody's gonna go under this except for maybe a like an Iron Ball Hatterene, which would be crazy tech and it would deserve every single ounce of leverage it gets on me. We've got Rock type attack in Rock Blast so that we can knock these two big players who are weak to Rock. And then we've got Heavy Slam to hit those gnarly, nasty, pesky, flesky fairy types, as one certainly does. Torny T is coming in next here with the HDBs, Regenerator and Timid on it. You can see that we've got mainly HP, enough speed to outspeed Ogerpon on their team, and 88 special attack here. We are running a lot of support moves here with Tailwind and Defog, just so that we have even more speed control in case Thunder Wave and Trick Room weren't enough. Defog, of course, if rocks go up, and those boots to help Tornadus come in and deal with that. We also got Bleak Wind Storm, because it's a little windy. And we got the pivots so that we can just simply get him in and out. With 168 speed, we can outspeed everything outside of a bundle or a prankster attack, so he's going to be pretty free to move around the board, especially if bundle doesn't come or if Raging Bolt is able to handle that bundle. Finally, we've got the Big Claude, and we've got his girls hanging out there already, but we'll get to those ladies later. Black Sludge and an Unaware Nature, Adamant on that nature. I said Unaware Nature. You know what Unaware is the ability. Anyways, 252 HP, 180 attack, 76 speed, running Haze. And you can tell that Haze and Unaware are just here to punish those boost sweepers, to try and really shut down any of these mons. Clodsire has the lovely, lovely benefit into this matchup of being able to threaten an Earthquake into both Charizard and Mawile, and it can kind of cheese or bluff the fact that it might be water absorbed into an Ogerpon, who would love to hit it with an Ivy Cudgel of the water type for super effective damage. Probably just knock me right off the park. But that is what it is. I believe, if my faint and foggy memory can serve me correctly, that 180 plus attack is designed to be able to OHKO Ogerpon with a Gunk Shot. Might do solid work or 2-hit KO the Mawile and the Charizard. I don't quite remember. But anywho, we're definitely here to be dealing with those boost sweepers that we just do not want to get boost swept by. And the Foul Gunkus is of course here to deal with those lovely poison weaknesses. It can certainly take care of all of these mons quite handedly. Of course, it doesn't want to be taking psychic attacks out of Hatterene, but it'll go how it'll go. That 76 speed, I do believe, is actually meant to outspeed Hatterene's max speed nature, which of course you're probably not going to be running, but it's there just in case you want it. And then finally, Earthquake is just on there so that we can have some grand type coverage into those aforementioned mons. I think we already talked about how it's great to have into Mawile and Charizard, and it can cover Tinkaton as well. With all my mons out of the way, let's get right into the recap of the match. And this time I actually have the live footage because I remembered or realized that that's just a thing that is allowed and I could do. So this week we'll have a live recap of me actually playing the match as it happens. So enjoy. Let's send it. Alright. So, well, we were expecting the Charizard X. You still hate to see it. Seeing both the water types isn't bad. I guess Ogerpon's neutral into Raging Bolt. Now, I think the line is that you just start Stack Attacka. Terraflying Stack Attacka for, you get nailed by a Hydro Pump though. And this is not a water absorbed Claude. This is unaware. So the question is, I'm assuming that your Hydro Pump just yonks me off the board. Do we just go for the, Well, you are actually quite problematic. We could just Dragon Pulse, assuming we know that you are a Mega Check. Bleh! You know what I mean. Alright, definitely a little bit of a lead off here. Just dealing with this Mega Charizard X is hard. Earthquake doing blah blah blah, but we are blah blah blah. Terra flying, that is. The issue here is, of course, that's... Actually, wait, if I Terra flying, we can get the Trick Room up no matter what. Then I think we just always lead here. Tinkaton here. Not exactly what we want. Oh, did this get out into the Discord? It looks like it did. Hopefully we didn't dox horrible information there. Sorry, Bobby, your credit card information is out on the line now. But that's what you get for posting it in general. Now we lock in. Do we see double Stealth Rocks going up here? Or do we see a switch? If we switch... I mean, that Gigaton Hammer is just not doing enough there into a neutral. What do you get, Miss Tinkaton, for... fighting moves? Do you get Close Combat? You get Brick Break. You get Rock Smash. That ain't enough. Let's look at your Brick Break calc. We're still pretty happy. I think we just... now we're gonna TR. I mean, nobody's gonna outspeed this Eventide. Is that Skyrim? The Balatro music's putting me into a little trance here. We're about to roll a big old flush off the bat. Hit that Royal straight off of the freaking flop. You can hear me swigging my seltzer here. Today we're drinking Polar's premium seltzer, naturally calorie-free, the Mandarin flavor. Been making it since 1882. Don't know if they've been making it like this, but God, if they were those people in 1882, even if they're dying at 25 to 30 years old, they had something to look forward at the end of the day. Rocks go up, room goes up, and we're kind of okay with this. It just makes it harder. Since we know this is a Mega, if Mega Charizard swaps it in here, which it can't, we get the rocks up. Whimsicott's probably rocking that Defog pack, but it's gonna, you know, get my own rocks off. So this is alright. The TR going up here, perfectly fine. Outside of Prio, which I think the only Prio we really have to worry about is Whimsicott's Prankster. Trying to think of funny work stories. Okay, we get that up. The Frisk, the loaded dice. That Eviolite is going to be standing on business. If you're max defense, we're not going to break this. We don't want to get necessarily statused or willowed. Expecting a willow, we could take Ogerpon out here, but we're going to take that rocks damage, which is no good. Nightshade can break through, protects as well. Because you do get, I believe you get knockoff, right? Oh, you don't get knockoff? Hold on here. Alright. Let's check like black and white. Do you get interesting? Kid named no knockoff. Now, we actually love that. The Will-O-Wisp would be unfortunate. I don't really want that. So I think what we do is we, well, it doesn't do super effective damage. In fact, it does actually less here because of the HP. It's a thought. Shadow Balls. What's like is a Shadow Ball just gonna do nothing into anybody? Alright, if it's doing even less into Mesprit, then I think we just take Mesprit out for the potentiality of the Willow. Yep. Alright, now we've got a bit of a shitty strat here because Baton Pass is legal. We're gonna start this thing off with a ooh, okay. We get the taunt there. We Mystic Power. And now we gotta just hope that we can Mystic Power up Shadow Sneak. That's fun. Get that chip healing. Now it's gone. That Shadow Sneak is doing 24%. Now, the idea here... Oh, I'm disabled. I'm taunted and disabled. Does my taunt go away? Okay, thank God. Now what we do... Now what we do is we B-Pass. Because this is looking fucking horrifying, really. Oh no, it's because you need to be at +2. This thing living, if it's specially defense, I guess we can figure this out right now. If you're specially defensive, that's unfortunate. Do we T-Wave here? But also the question is, what the hell can you do to this Baton Pass mo-fuck? And the answer is probably not much. Oh, that's a horrible swap for you, dog. I am sorry. But we come out here and there ain't nothing you can really do, huh? And the worst thing is that we get the substitute off, right? Whoo! 517 on that. I think we sub up here. Ice Beam gonna kill. Oh. That is fucking hilarious. I thought that was a guaranteed switch out. Well, now we've got this thing here. It could be Specs if that's killing off the rip. Is that the count? Spec. Sorry. That's the ability box. That's so silly. Yeah, Ice Beam is seemingly only killing here if it... Man, we could have just pressed the thingy thing. Well, we can set up, what's it called again? Probably a free... Yeah, we can set up a free Trick Room here. The only thing is that this guy comes out again. Let's see, what's a Specs Ice Beam could kill there? That's funny. Anywho, we'll bring Stacky back out, and man, we didn't even get hit. We Trick Room again, just for posterity. You not pressing any move into Stack Attack, it confirms that you're probably not going to come back out. Getting Dusknoir out here, still losing those thingy things. We can bring out, can we just, what do we even want to do to deal with you? We could Heavy Slam. This is going to be a pain in the ass to break, because I did not bring Knockoff this week. Expecting another Willow. Well, I mean, what's the worst case here? Another Willow, those... What are you running? Shadow Sneak? Shadow Sneak is just not going to be doing a lot here. I think we can pretty easily get you going here. Now taking that break is too bad. Getting taunted is annoying. We could have attacked, but let's not get sent into the rigmarole here. Let's just start pressing the buttons. Disable there, we'd kill, and then we just stomping tantrum because we're gonna get disabled, and we're gonna have to swap out, but that's fine. Taunt ended, and we can, you know what we can do? Oh, are we gonna get taunted again? Yeah, we are. So we actually get Shadow Sneak there. That's fine. I mean, it's not necessarily fine. Now, Charizard X can't come out here. That's annoying. Do we sack here? It's not the most fortuitous position here. The do we sack question. We're already a Mon down, but we cannot let Ogerpon go. And Iron Bundle on the calc there is just not looking good for us. Let's see. I think we just bring out the Jaundice creature for Doom, and then we take out the Bob Foe today and Terra it if need be. Because this thing has got to be specs. It's also whittling itself away. Charizard doesn't want to come in. Losing that bolt is so sad. So sad. We should have just pressed the sure thing. That's been a lesson I'm learning time and time again, that you should just take the guaranteed kill, because you know what, with the situation, why don't you just press Ice Beam? I mean, if the choice is to lose something on the switch or press Ice Beam for some kind of shenanigans, I think we just press this and we let this go down. The pump hits and then the burn confirms. Actually, wait, no, we're leftovers, so it doesn't. We can T-Wave for the miss. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, we know your specs. Your pump. Does it kill? It does. If we Terra, it still might. It's really bad. That's really quite bad. What about on you? Pump is a 2-hit. Well, may you miss this and may I hit this. Or I could just Tailwind. I think we just gotta hit it. We just gotta hit it. Last week was a pretty bad loss. I'm not gonna lie, I got absolutely miffed in. Some bad RNG too, but this time, I just got Ice Beamed in the face. There's no walking around that. I licked the little frosty pole out on the playground. I'm stuck to the basketball hoop with my tongue. This could be lovely on a switch, and that's probably just gonna bring her out. Nice. Happy to see that. Now, do you want to just bring Bundle out? Yeah. No, if you're trying to show me an Ice Beam, that'd be crazy. I could just Tailwind and U-turn on it. Or we could expect the Ice Beam and go hard into Stacka. And that's a risky biz. That's some risky biz. But realistically, if we don't let this Charizard get a Dragon Dance off, Ogerpon, it's a tough one. I don't know where that Gunk Shot, is this Gunk Shot gonna kill Ogerpon here? It is. Alright. We could use now this Ice Beam, I'm assuming this Ice Beam into Torny always kills, yeah. So we have to hit the hard swap, we have to hit the read. Let's see, Ice Beam, thank fucking god. That still hurts like a biatch, but we get our Trick Room up. We're gonna start Heavy Slamming whoever comes in, or Rock Blasting maybe. Yeah, we actually like this not too badly. We Heavy Slam. We always Heavy Slam here because we don't want to miss a Rock Blast. That defense is whatever. You gotta come in and take damage. You gotta come in and take damage. Quick Attack is just not gonna be enough. If we hit 5, it's not gonna kill. Do we need Stack Attack at this point in the game? Not exactly. Not exactly. I think what we do is we take the Rock Blast. Do we take the Rock Blast and risk that 10%? It would be annoying. You outspeed outside of Trick Room. Your Gunk Shot will kill as long as it connects. That's, of course, the big thing. We'll, okay, low-key. Clodsire is kind of the hidden ace in the back here. We take the stack attack into here. We just take our rock blast and we don't miss. We miss. Okay, so this is horrible. Now we crit. We crit. We crit. We crit. We crit. We just crit all day. I'd actually love to die this turn so that Clodsire can come in, or... Okay, we take that. We take that. The Horn Leech is not ideal, but... Alright, you're boosted up. Clodsire literally has to come in and hit this gunk shot. I'm assuming your Earthquake doesn't kill. If I mix this gunk shot... Wait, hold on. Yeah, Ivy Cudgel is going to kill. If I miss this gunk shot, then it's over. If I don't miss this gunk shot, then we're in business. Oh, thank the Lord. Oh, thank the Lord. My God. I'm still thinking about that Ice Beam. Here, you have to Mega, and your Mega X. I'm not sashed up. The Flare Blitz probably kills. We just EQ, no matter what, because you have to Mega. Please live. That hurts. That really does hurt. The good thing is that we always outspeed. We always outspeed with Ogre Pawn here, and Stomping Tantrum should always kill. Whew, this is still scary. Still worrisome. It's never, ever over. Thank God that kills, and then a cheeky Ivy Cudgel should finish out the game, but whew, that was a scary one. Mega Charizard X, if it had, lead... Well, I guess I was accounting for it to lead. Regardless, this thing was giving me nightmares. Running some of the calcs, it's one of those mons like Urshifu or Palafin or, not Ogre Mort. That's an old D&D character of one of my friends. Not Ogre Pawn. What's that guy? Oh my God. The bear. He's Ogre's son, but he's not an ogre, he's a bear. Ursaluna. Both of the Ursalunas. Running those calcs is just hilarious. We press Ivy Cudgel here, and we hope that no Nans comes out, because Tornadus can definitely not handle it. Terra Steel there. G freaking G's. Ice Beam. Losing Bolt had me tweaking. Namaste. Have a good day. Alrighty. Coach Zenith guidance, Coach Michael of the lovely team we just faced. GG. G. Allegé.